Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Stregi, and today I have a review for you from Finland. Uh, Apparently, some of the same team that brought us The Defiler and films like Trans. Um, these are two short films that were put out by DIY Productions. Uh, Director Jan Chaos, who is into very extreme gore. Um, this was a um, this was one of the two short films that he had distributed out on his own company, and as you can see, it has the number 7 out of 30. So he made 30 copies of this, and he had permission by the filmmakers themselves to distribute them. And these are some very violent gore films. Wow. But they have some Quentin Tarantino-esque kind of look to them. The first one is like kind of like an Office Space kind of atmosphere where I believe here are the cast of characters. I mean, from Finland we have actors Rami Eerola, Toni Hirvonen, Sami Karisto, Oni Kaskinen, Ossi Keskisarja, Helena Lapanen, Jarno Pete Ikanen, Jerry Ritari, Johannes Rajola, Arturi Roston, which I believe Arturi Roston is the main character here. He seems to be like one of the main filmmakers and one of the actors in Finland that is in independent films that seems to be trying to make an appearance out there. Email Tauminen and Kuisma Venenen. So I apologize if I have said those names wrong, but there you go. It starts out where Arturi Roston's character wakes up. He's got kind of a dead-end office job, and he has to deal with a lot. Evidently, he's puking on his way to work. His boss wants him to get a project done, and he seems to be playing around with the office help. He's got a nosy coworker and someone who seems to like to mess with his things in the office as well. There are several characters that seem to be unsavory, like a group of skaters that seem to somewhat piss him off. But what pisses him off more than anything is when he sees a traffic guy writing a ticket for his car when it's parked in the right spot. And you see a moment where, you know, in the first short film, that he just stares down this guy, and then he just kind of has a, a falling down time where he just kind of snaps, and he starts to kill some of the many people that get in his way. And the fact that many of these ways are ingenious, and the way that they are killed, it kind of seems like a grindhouse kind of a film. The second film, a short film, involves some of the same characters, kind of, you know, this one was filmed in 2014, so we have yeah, it looks like mostly all the same people except for Ari Savonen, Jonas Sarinen, Eriko Valivara, Marco Luca, Danny Flinkman, and of course Arturi Roston is the main character again, where apparently we are hearing that there was a killer on the loose, and one of the guys who had played a dumb police officer in the first short film is now some kind of politician or something like that. There's a group of hippies who are trying to sit out on evidently Arturi Rustin's character's land. And, you know, it seems like he's trying to live out his life quietly, even though he was a killer. And the thing that sets him off is that there is a guy who is trying to write him a ticket for, you know, having his car or whatever on his land, and he's trying to tell him all these taxes and stuff, and he just pisses him off. I mean, I think that these two films are kind of trying to, in a way, send out a political statement that they're sick of paying taxes, in a sense. I thought the acting was brilliant in here, as well as in the first film in 2011. And there's just, I think in the second film, what surprised me is that the baby that had been in the first one had actually grown up to be kind of a follow, as you will, monkey on your back kind of person who seems to follow the character of Arturi Rustin's character around. And there is a guy who evidently is trying to fuck with him. And little do we know, one of the weapons that are on hand is actually a skiff. So I think that there are some very big guns that are used in the second one that weren't used in the first one. So I like that there were garden tools or whatever you could find on hand in his shed kind of thing, until he actually ran into the Russians, and he ended up having a friend there for a little bit because some dude came along and said, "God damn it, the Russians!" And he joined in on the action. Now there was several moments that were quite surprising in the second film, as well as the first film, and these were definitely splatter gore. So I was impressed with the effects in here, even though I know that some of it looked kind of plasticky. But you know what? It looked a hell of a lot better than what I see CGI'd. I liked that it was real, especially some of the guns. I enjoyed the part in the first film where he stuck a grenade in the guy who was was writing him a ticket, its mouth, and he rams it in there. and he lets the guy explode. So these two short films are actually two of my favorite films that are out there right now. I mean, I liked The Defiler, which had something to do with these directors. Rigor Mortis was definitely gory, so that had something to do with some of the people involved in this uh, uh, these two short films. So yeah, there's my review on these two short films. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about these films. Again, this is what this um, looks like, and I have 7 out of 30. So that was definitely a cool thing, as you can see. So in any case, hopefully you like and subscribe to my channel. I try to do the best that I can to describe these films, whether I like them, whether I don't, and I leave the rest up to you. In any case, I will have more cool reviews for all of you to hear. I have nothing but films up my sleeve. I've been burned by a few interviewees lately. So, in any case, tomorrow night, or tonight actually, stay tuned for Return of the Living Dead 3, where we are definitely going to have a cool discussion. So, stay tuned, and thanks for listening.